Everyone's favorite night of the year has come and gone. NFL schedule release, where we sit around and not watch the schedule release on TV because all the schedules already got leaked 8 hours prior. Any team would rather play the NFC East than the NFC West. That brings us to the teams that have gotten the luck of the draw in 2021 and landed the easiest schedules in the league. The easiest schedule in the league goes to the team clearly in the biggest need of an easy path, the reigning Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yeah. For starters, they play 6 games in their division that consists of the New Orleans Saints without Drew Brees, the Carolina Panthers, who are just in desperate need of a franchise quarterback, and the Atlanta Falcons, who may be in rebuild mode, but who knows. Meanwhile, the Buccaneers have almost their entire Super Bowl winning roster coming back. Outside of the NFC South, Tampa Bay goes up against the entire NFC East. That right there is 10 games already that will likely be huge mismatches. Additionally, the Buccaneers face off against a very confused Chicago Bears team. That leaves 4 interesting matchups, starting with Tom Brady's return to New England against the Patriots. Brady will also have to go up against his old AFC East rival in the Miami Dolphins. The other 3 matchups on the schedule will come against 2020 playoff squads in the Los Angeles Rams with Matthew Stafford now, the Indianapolis Colts, who will be with Carson Wentz for the first time, and the Buffalo Bills, who are likely the best team on their schedule. In total, the Buccaneers' opponents had a .465 winning percentage, the 4th lowest in the league. Tom Brady and company will be heavily favored all season long and will likely face little to no worries to win the weak NFC South. Speaking of the NFC South, the Atlanta Falcons had the pleasure of having the second easiest schedule. A lot of the same principles from the Buccaneers apply here for the Falcons. Aside from the Buccaneers, the Falcons play 4 games against the combination of the Saints and Panthers, plus 4 games against the NFC East. Outside of their division, the only playoff team with a winning record in 2020 they will face is the Buffalo Bills. That leaves the New England Patriots and the San Francisco 49ers, both of which could be bad or competitive in 2021. We're not really sure yet. The NFC East, plus the struggling New York Jets and Detroit Lions, put the Falcons in a pretty good place with a bad schedule. The Falcons' opponents had a winning percentage of .454 in 2020, good for 3rd worst. Tampa Bay will certainly make the most of its easy schedule, but Atlanta could be in for a rough year. The Falcons still have a lot of issues, especially on defense. Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, and Calvin Ridley are still there, but the rest of the roster, plus the coaches, are all very different, so it's hard to really know what to expect. If you're enjoying the video, please help us reach 100K by subscribing to the channel and hitting that bell notification so you never miss an upload. The Dallas Cowboys start the 2021 season in Tampa Bay, but the rest of their schedule is rather peachy. Dallas does not play a single game at home against a team that had a winning record in 2020. I fully expect a Week 1 loss for Dallas. Tom Brady is 5-0 against the Cowboys, and the Cowboys haven't beaten a team not named the Giants in a season opener since 2009. Now, you're going to notice a trend here that teams that have to play in the NFC East and the NFC South are all pretty well off for 2021. Other than the reigning Super Bowl champion Buccaneers, nobody is exactly a powerhouse. That leaves the Cowboys, who get 6 games against Washington, the Eagles, and the Giants. The opener against the Buccaneers is going to be tough, like I mentioned, but the Panthers, Falcons, and Saints are all winnable games. Don't get it twisted, though. The Cowboys have a couple of tough ones in there. the Chiefs and the Raiders back-to-back in a 5-day span, including a Thanksgiving Day matchup at home against Las Vegas. The Arizona Cardinals and New England Patriots are probably going to be solid teams on the schedule, but there are some easier options down the road like the Los Angeles Chargers, Minnesota Vikings, and the Denver Broncos. Overall, the Cowboys' opponents had a winning percentage of .452 in their games in 2020, second worst in the league. I don't know how many times I'm going to need to get this point across, but easier schedules are built from having to play the NFC East and the NFC South. Which brings us to the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles' opponents only had a .430 winning percentage in their games in 2020, which is by far the worst in the league. 6 games against the NFC East, 4 games against the NFC South. What does that leave, though? Well, a lot of games that the Eagles can definitely win. The New York Jets, Detroit Lions, Denver Broncos, and Los Angeles Chargers. The San Francisco 49ers are a bit unknown, but that leaves 2 tough matchups: the Kansas City Chiefs and the Las Vegas Raiders. The Eagles might have the easiest schedule in the league, but honestly, I'm not sure they're going to be good enough to take advantage of it. Looking in right now, I consider them the worst team in the NFC East, which isn't exactly a good division. The last and the only team not in the NFC on this list is the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins' opponents had a .471 winning percentage in 2020, tied for the 5th worst with the Denver Broncos. The AFC East isn't the easiest division this year. The Bills are surging. The Patriots are an interesting team that it's hard to make of, like after a great offseason, but hey, at least Miami gets to play the Jets twice. The trend of the NFC East and NFC South continues here. The Dolphins get the Giants and the entire NFC South on the schedule. They also benefit from a few cupcake matchups against the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston Texans. The Indianapolis Colts could also end up being an easier matchup depending on how things break with Carson Wentz. That only leaves what I would consider 3 tough games, and that was against the Las Vegas Raiders, the Baltimore Ravens, and the Tennessee Titans. And based off of Miami last year, I think they could actually win a couple of those. We are quickly closing in on the NFL season, and there's plenty of uncertainty surrounding every schedule. Anything can happen. But for now, it appears that the Super Bowl champs are among those with the easiest route to another playoff run in 2021. Thanks for sticking to the end of the video. Again, please help us reach 100K by subscribing to the channel and hitting the bell notification so you never miss an upload. Once we hit 100K, we are giving away a jersey. To enter the giveaway, follow us both on Instagram and tag us on your story with a screenshot of you subscribed with the bell notification on.